Hello guys, what is up? My name is Dylan. Welcome to the Popcorn Podcast. This is episode number 52. I'm once again joined by Mickey. Welcome back. I say welcome back,
much.
But we have literally just
got a
shot
quick outfit change.
just a little quick outfit change because we just shot an episode reviewing Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. If you haven't seen that or if you haven't listened to that, please do go check it out. It'll be linked down below in the description box. Got some interesting takes because we just saw the film, very, very fresh. So if you've seen the film and you want to share your thoughts, please go over and check out that video. But in this video, guys, in this episode, in this video, myself and Mickey are doing our little podcast tradition where we see each other at the start of the year and we count down our top 10 films of the years. In this case, we are going to be talking about our top 10 most anticipated films of 2025. 2025 looks like an interesting year.
It does.
It does. And we say that every year.
It does indeed.
Wait,
I have a question for you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Put it out in the world. What is your goal for the pod in 2025?
The goal for the pod.
Yes, sir.
You can't make me say.
Yes, sir.
Bro.
Or okay. A goal.
What's a goal?
A goal.
What's a goal?
Let's manifest the fuck out of it.
I really don't know. I want to start. I think I was saying this to Flynn in the car, and I don't know how soon this will happen, but I do really like the idea of doing junkets at some point.
Yeah?
I do really like the idea. I think I could.
I think you'd be great at that.
I've seen a lot of great junkets and I've also seen a lot of not great junkets. I feel like a lot of not great junkets, they get the wrong people to ask actors and directors questions. And
You would be really good at that.
I feel like, I mean, hey, if anyone out there
I have a feeling it's a viable path.
Let's see what happens. What's
What's
a goal that you have, Vicky?
I have. Oh God, I get what you're feeling now. Let's say I want to premiere my film this year.
Yes.
Just premiere it. Not. I mean, I want to do a lot more with it, but for like a feasible, achievable, actually happening goal that is going to happen is premiere.
Yeah. Well,
at a festival, obviously, at a few, but let's go. 2025.
2025. Wow. Okay, and we hope all you guys watching and listening all achieve your goals for this year as well.
Yep.
What a nice start.
Yeah.
What a nice start.
Yeah.
But of course, like I was just saying, we're about to talk about all the new and exciting films lined up in 2025. We've both made a list each of our top 10 most anticipated films of the year. And the way this is going to work, if you guys saw last year's episode, we kind of went from 10 to 1, counting upwards, the pair of us. Yeah. And whenever we hit a film that both of us had on our list, we would either save or discuss it. Yeah. So it's a nice, it's kind of a little game, I think. It's a nice little element here. But
it's fun. It's good fun.
Yeah. But before we do get into our main 10 of the year. Honourable mentions. I've got basically a lot.
We're not doing, so I haven't done, and I think you haven't done, films that are technically coming out next year, but really are last year. So like films like Baby Girl, which hasn't come out in the UK.
Or Nosferatu.
Or
The Brutalist.
We're not doing stuff like that. We're doing proper 2025.
So we're talking 2025 film slate only. Anything that is already somewhat out in some capacity is 2024. Yeah. We're doing specifically 2025. Thank you for prefacing that.
Of course.
But your honourable mentions, Mickey.
Yeah. I have not that many. I have 5. Zootopia 2.
Oh my God, that's coming out this year. Oh wow. Okay.
Zootopia 2, Freakier Friday, Now You See Me 3.
Yeah.
And then honorable mention, not top 10, Superman and Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan's like, I highly fucking disagree. Whatever. Let's move on.
My honorable mentions, there's quite a lot of them, so I'll get through them very, very quickly. The kind of big sort of studio superhero releases, we're going to go with Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Wicked for Good, Karate Kid Legends, Ballerina, which is the John Wick spin-off film with Ana de Armas, Predator Badlands, I really liked Prey. And Dan Trachtenberg is coming back to direct this one. Novocaine, which is a film starring Jack Quaid. It looks super fun. Nobody 2, which is another sort of action-y film. Now You See Me 3 is another honorable mention of mine. How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action version. I'm not super down for it to be made into a live action, but because it's How to Train Your Dragon, it's on the list. The Gorge, which is a Scott Derrickson directed film with Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, is a sort of action thriller. Some more horror kind of honorable mentions here. We have Black Bag. It's not a horror, but it's kind of a sort of thrillery film directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. We have The Bride, which is directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal and starring the likes of Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley and Jake Gyllenhaal. We have, I don't know how to say this, Bugonia, Bugonia.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Yorgos Lanthimos' supposed next film starring Emma Stone. We have The Running Man, which is Edgar Wright's next film. We have Michael, which is Michael Jackson biopic directed by Antoine Fuqua. We have Flight Risk, which is coming out very, very soon, which is starring Mark Wahlberg and directed by Mel Gibson. We have Outcome, which is Jonah Hill's next directorial film. I really loved Mid-90s, his first film, so I'm excited to see what he does next. We have Eden, which is directed by Ron Howard, which stars Anna de Armas and Sydney Sweeney. The Life of Chuck, which is Mike Flanagan's new film that isn't a horror, so I'm excited to see what he is doing. Yes. And we kind of have the last of the kind of remaining horrors. We have Presence, which is another Steven Soderbergh film, which I saw the trailer of yesterday when I was watching Nosferatu. We have The Black Phone 2, the first of which I really enjoyed, another Scott Derrickson film. The Conjuring, Last Rites, another Conjuring film in this universe, and also a good friend of ours, Ebony, is in the film.
No way.
She is indeed. I just outed that on the podcast, but there you go.
Is she like somebody in it? Or
I don't really know, but she was in a scene with Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. So
no way.
Yeah, Ebony. Shout out to Ebony. We have 28 Years Later as an honorable mention. The only reason it's not on my top 10 is because I watched the first when I was like very, very long ago, and I haven't seen the new trailer for it, but apparently it's like one of the highest viewed horror trailers ever.
I saw that. There's a big, massive fan base over that franchise.
Yeah. We have The Monkey, which is Osgood Perkins' next horror film, following up from Longlegs. And we also have Wolfman, which I saw the trailer to, which looks really, really interesting. I remember Ryan Gosling was originally attached to that project. But it very, very nearly cracked my top 10 Wolfman because it is directed by Lee Winnell, who I love as a director. He's fantastic. If you haven't seen, The Invisible Man, Upgrade, he's fantastic. And the last honorable mention, which is the one that was the closest to cracking my top 10, is Tron Ares. Not super hyped about I'm not too familiar with the director, and it's got like Jared Leto and Greta Lee and whatever as cast, but I think Tron Legacy was way ahead of its time, and for that reason, I'm excited for Tron Ares. And I think Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are following up Daft Punk, and they're doing the score for this one. So I'm super excited to get back into the grid. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
I've just done a change because I realized I missed one film that you mentioned that definitely makes my top 10. I'm going to surprise you with it. Okay. I just missed it. So I'm going to add what used to be 10 on mine to now my honorable mentions. Okay. Which is Mickey 17.
It didn't make your list.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, Mickey. Mickey 17 didn't quite crack your list. Yeah. But what for you just about made it onto your top 10? Well, what is your number 10?
It was part of your honorable mentions, and it's Bugonia. Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm surprised to hear some of those were honorable mentions because I have like at least 3 or 4 on there that are in my top 10. But Bugonia, number 10 for me. Yorgos Lanthimos, Because whatever it is going to be like weird and different.
Yeah. So, yeah. He's always a filmmaker I'm excited to see films about. What did you think of, very quickly, what did you think of Kinds of Kindness?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it as well.
I didn't like it that much. Well, no, I liked it a lot when I saw it, but it's aged so well in my
my really?
Mind.
Wow. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Poor Things or anything like that, but it was interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I found myself, I don't say defending the film, but most people I spoke to didn't like it.
I liked it a lot. Yeah. A lot. Like,
it was weird. It was weird.
They're all like, they all give you so much to think about. So
yeah. So your number 10 is Bugonia.
Yes.
I think, my number 10.
Yeah.
And I think, my prediction is that it's cracked your list.
Yeah.
My number 10 is Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
It hasn't cracked your list.
No. What's this?
So Marty Supreme is directed by Josh Safdie and stars Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yes, I know this.
It is a fictional story set in the world of 1950s ping pong culture.
I know this.
Loosely inspired by the life of professional ping pong player Marty Reisman.
Oh damn, that would have I've missed that as well. I reckon that would have been like 8-ish for me, like 7, 8-ish. Yeah, I definitely would have. Would have probably put that in there.
Yeah, for me, I mean, to be honest, the reason this
I don't know if like Chalamet fits Josh Safdie though.
But this. I mean, I think Chalamet's on a run right now, so I'm super down to see him in basically anything. But I think for me, the reason why I'm excited about the film is it's not directed by both Safdie brothers, but if it's anything like Good Time or Uncut Gems, if it has any of that kind of, those films are basically like one big panic attack, essentially, so to speak. So if it has any of that kind of energy, I'm so there for it. I'm so there for it. And also, I do want to say, in a year, that looks so compact and so full of blockbusters.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think indie films. Now is the year that if it's a hit, it's really gonna shine through.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm excited for it. Yeah.
Marty Supreme is my number 10. Your number 9.
My number 9 is also on your honorable mentions.
Okay.
And it is Wicked for Good. Purely because it's gonna be just like a meme mode experience, isn't it? And it's like gonna get everybody talking. It's gonna get everybody talking. It's gonna be good.
Is that actually kind of come out this year? Because surely, from a studio perspective, 100%. You kind of want to like.
No, I think because it's part 1, part 2. It's not a sequel. And they've shot it already.
But they did that with Dune though as well. Have they shot it already?
Yeah.
Okay, if they shot it already, then sure.
Yeah, they've shot it already. So
yeah.
I mean, Wicked is not my thing. It's a great film. It's not my thing. But I like the vibe around it and the experience. So
it's an event.
It definitely
is. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think Wicked for it's on my honorable mentions.
What about you?
My number 9 is. I feel like 50-50 this has cracked your list. My number 9 is Sinners.
No.
Directed by Ryan Coogler. Wow.
Yes. They're very different.
Yeah. So my number 9 is Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, of course, who did
I know about this though,
Creed, Black Panther 2, Fruitvale Station, and also stars Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld. Michael B. Jordan plays twins. So the film is trying to leave their troubled lives behind. Twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. So I've heard rumors that this is somewhat of a vampire film, but I saw the trailer. I've seen the trailer twice now when I went to see some films in the cinema. It looks great. And it's Ryan Coogler, who is obviously well known for Black Panther, for Creed, those kind of big actiony kind of blockbusters, now doing a horror film in IMAX format. So I'm excited, man. The trailer looks good. Michael B. Jordan, I like a lot. I think the premise looks really interesting, and I think, it's cool. It's got twins in the story, so if you've no spoilers for any other. I was about to spoil some films, but that's always an interesting dynamic to play around with from an actor perspective to see how their performance influences their characters. So it's super cool. It looks really, really interesting, and I hope that it's actually scary. And to see it in an IMAX theater, I'm excited. Yeah,
I love this new trend of like horror on
IMAX. But I mean, it's like. I wish we could have seen some of the greats in IMAX, because horror is the most visceral of genres.
I agree.
IMAX is it's there's a place for that.
It's very cool.
Your number 8.
My number 8 is in your honorable mentions, and it is Presence by
Steven Soderbergh. Yeah,
which we know nothing about, right? We just know the really cool marketing campaign.
Yeah, saw the trailer for it for the first time last night.
But is it like a trailer, or is it like the teaser stuff? Have you seen the teaser stuff?
No, I haven't.
So when you go to a picture house, they play like 4 different teasers.
Oh no!
One in the beginning, like first thing, then like midway through,
That's cool.
Then in the end, and they're all like a different push in on the house or something.
Yeah, that's.
So it's really.
I saw
cool.
I think I saw an actual.
I haven't seen an actual trailer. I have no idea what it's about, but it looks cool. Soderbergh always does like interesting things, so I'm really excited for it.
It looks interesting. It looks also like another Steven Soderbergh. I don't know if it's shot on an iPhone, but it's like one of those kind of, he shot it in an interesting way.
Kane
a lot of fisheye lens.
Looks terrifying. She was like, I would never see that film. The teaser.
It reminded me a little of like Paranormal Activity, a little bit, but not found footage style, but more. It looks really interesting.
It looks really cool.
And it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it's coming out in like a few weeks.
Yeah. Cool. Presence. Yeah. My number 8, I don't think it's made your list.
I
don't think it's made your list, but my number 8 is Jurassic World Rebirth.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
we're up for a very different start here.
We have had 0.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Rebirth for me was a film that I was almost borderline neglecting to put on this list.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not a huge fan of the Jurassic World trilogy. I don't really like those films. I think the first one is all right. I think they're fun. But the last two, the most recent ones have just... But of course, I feel like I owe that franchise a big deal, a great deal, because obviously Jurassic Park is my all-time favorite film. And I will always be excited to see, in some capacity, what they do with, that concept. But I will say the reason I am still kind of excited for the film
is because this is like a rebrand.
Not just a rebrand. It is directed by Gareth Edwards.
Oh yeah, the creator.
The creator, Rogue One, Godzilla. So he's already shot like huge elemental kind of creatures. I'm interested to see how he does that with the world of Jurassic Park. Obviously, Gareth Edwards, for me, I really admire him as a filmmaker. I think I've spoken about this multiple times on the podcast, but like the way he shoots action is always kind of from the perspective of the smaller person. Like, for example, you will see shit happen through a window or something like that. And he has this amazing ability to make those events feel so
big,
huge. And that is what I want back in the Jurassic World franchise. I feel like the Jurassic World films almost made those dinosaurs out to be like their cartoon characters, when in reality, where the film really thrives is when you are from the perspective of the humans looking up at these things, these prehistoric beings who you actually don't have any influence over at all. You have to, it's...
I would love for it to be good, because I miss like good dinosaur films. Because we like the new trilogy, the Jurassic World. The first one is like all right? I've only seen it when it came out. It's all right, but I did see the second one, and I saw the third one, and I thought the third one was like utter garbage.
Yeah, it was.
Dominion, right? Is that what
Dominion is the third one, and they brought back the legacy characters. They brought back Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum. And
why did I even see that? I don't remember, but I did, and it was really bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I would love for them to be good, because it's dinosaurs.
Yeah,
it's cool as hell. You know?
Yeah. It's got an interesting cast: Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey. Interesting premise: 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, covert operations expert Zara Bennett is contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission to secure genetic material for the world's 3 most massive dinosaurs. When Zara's operation intersects a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized, they all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. So yeah. Interesting.
Do you think, how they call, like, it was Jurassic Park, then Jurassic World? Do you think this one is going to be like Jurassic Island?
No, because it's a Jurassic World.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm fucking
Jurassic
kidding. All right, I'm making a joke.
Jurassic Park to Jurassic World to then Jurassic Island. Jurassic Universe.
Jurassic
Jurassic Galaxy.
Yeah.
Up next, Mickey, you're number 7.
This is on your list, and I'm gonna guess it's like 5. And it's Fantastic Four. Do
you know what? It is my number 5.
Let's fucking go!
Okay. Should we do... Yeah, let's do Fantastic Four First Steps. Why not? It is my number 5. It is your number 7.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I think, like, I've definitely felt superhero fatigue this year. I didn't, like, when like Phase 4 started, and people were like, oh, I'm getting, like, superhero fatigue. I wasn't really like that. I was actually, like, vibing with the MCU still, because I've always I always enjoy them. They're not like high art, but it's like good fun. But now I've definitely hit it, so that's why like Thunderbolts and Brave New World and so on, even though they both look pretty alright actually, have not made I'm not like particularly excited about, to be honest. But Fantastic Four looks like it's doing something very fresh and different, and like it looks like it's definitely, I think, because they can't get it wrong. Like they have to get it right.
They got it wrong twice before, but yeah.
But that's why they have to get it right.
Yeah.
So because of that, I feel like they would have done everything to like give it a fresh take and like do something really good and really fun with it.
I agree with you completely. I think third time is potentially the charm.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four for me, ever since the MCU was kind of born, the question has been, when are the Fantastic Four gonna come in? Because in Marvel, Fantastic Four were the first superheroes. They were Marvel's first family.
Yeah.
And now when you have, a villain like Doctor Doom inevitably coming, you do have to start introducing these characters. And, Fantastic Four, it's got a really interesting cast, which I'm somewhat excited for. It's got Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch, and Eben Moss Backrack as the Thing.
Yeah.
And then you have Ralph Ineson, who is Robert Eggers. He's playing Galactus. Of course he is. You heard this guy's voice. Crazy stuff. And apparently John Malkovich is in this film as well, randomly. But
is Anya Taylor-Joy still in it? Is she?
As Silver Surfer.
Yeah. That was a rumor or like a semi.
I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't know if
it's sick casting.
It is cool. It is cool.
Yeah.
But First Steps, against the vibrant backdrop of a 1960s inspired retro-futuristic world, Marvel's first family is forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond while defending Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus in his enigmatic herald Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
So I think maybe Anya's confirmed.
Or John Malkovich's Silver Surfer. To be fair, I don't know, man. The whole casting they've done is kind of left field. So
yeah. Yeah.
Like Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, to me,
Yeah.
didn't work. They've kind of gaslit me into liking it now, but who knows?
You know who I really wanted to have seen as play the Human Torch? And I love Joseph Quinn. I think Joseph Quinn's great, and I think he's going to do a great job. But is Dacre Montgomery?
Oh man,
he would have been the perfect.
I sounded way too excited for that. I was like, yeah.
Clip that. I'm gonna clip that. Dacre Montgomery would have been an amazing Human Torch.
He would have been really good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fine. I'm just excited to see the Fantastic Four in the MCU, and hopefully third time is the charm. I really like the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four. I grew up with those films.
It's not good, but I like it.
They're not good. Yeah.
I agree.
And of course, the Fan Four stick that came out was just utter.
Yeah, I agree.
But my number seven is a film that I think surely is on your list.
Sure.
It is Avatar: Fire and Ash.
It is indeed. I believe it is number
Can I get
5.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Look at that. 7 and 5.
7 and 5. Wow. So Avatar: Fire and Ash. I mean, do we really need to expand on why this film is exciting?
It's just
an
the
Avatar
vibe,
film.
isn't it? It's like massive. It's there. I think people chat a lot of shit about Avatar.
Yeah, they do.
Avatar is great.
It is good. It is. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but it's great.
It is really good.
Like people are like,
it's not original.
Shut the fuck. Are you seeing it? Like, and I hate when people go, because people like us, they'll go, the water is so real, it looks like water, and people are like, why didn't they use real water? It's a fucking Pandora. There's like rocks in the sky, okay?
Yeah.
Like it's a CGI water, okay? Deal with it.
Yeah.
Great. Avatar is great.
Avatar is great. I mean, James Cameron's back. And speaking of the elements, this time it looks like we're going to explore fire and ash. That is literally the title. So in the wake of the devastating war against the RDA, and what the fuck is the RDA? And the loss of their elder son, Jake Sully and Neytiri face a new threat on Pandora. The Ash People, a violent and power-hungry Na'vi tribe led by the ruthless Varang. Jake's family must fight for their survival and the future of Pandora in a conflict that pushes them to their emotional and physical limits. That last sentence, I feel like, is the recurring sentence to come out for every single Avatar film. But fire, interesting.
Yeah.
So the number 2 is water. This is fire. This is like kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but spun in a different kind of way.
Have you read about like theories about what's gonna happen with all the avatars and stuff like that?
I've stayed away.
It's sick. Like, do you want me to tell you or no? It's only theories. It's not like locked in.
Go for it.
But essentially, like, people are saying because like all the execs flipped out, I think at the 5th script or at the 4th script, but people are saying they're gonna go back to Earth after.
They have to.
And I think there is also a thing about how the like what's the like little tree thing called, the system.
The Awa
is essentially like an AI sort of thing, like a computer sort of thing. So that all connect. Yeah,
that's interesting.
I have a feeling that it's all gonna be a lot more linked than we think it is. I think because I mean I do really like the first 2, but they are kind of like basic, you know? But I think we will look back on them in like 50 years when it's all done. We'll look back on them and be like, oh, okay, so they were setting up a lot of the complexities that are yet to come.
100%. And I also do think eventually the films will become about the kids.
Yeah.
The parents will eventually die. And their kids will be
I agree. 100%.
But yeah, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Number 6, Mickey.
Number 6, I put a film that I didn't know was coming out next year, and it's The Outcome, Jonah Hill's next...
It's my honourable mentions.
Is that what it's called? Jonah Hill's next film. I know nothing about it besides that it's directed by Jonah Hill. But mid-90s rules, and so did his documentary.
I haven't seen it.
That.
Is that the surfing one?
No, it's about his therapist. It's a pretty good.
Did he direct that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's not as good as mid-90s, but mid-90s was great. I don't know anything about the outcome, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, Jonah Hill, like, surprisingly, like, you know, he kind of took everyone by surprise when he did mid-90s, and that was actually such a great film. Did that for A24. I really want to rewatch that now, actually, speaking about it. But The Outcome, we know basically next to nothing about it.
We know that it's... follows Hollywood star Reef as he is forced to confront his problems and atone for his past after being threatened by a bizarre video footage from his past.
This sounds
it's
almost
giving
like Jonah Hill
cancelled sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it stars Keanu Reeves, Cameron Diaz.
Wow. Oh yeah, no, I did
Matt
see this.
Boomer, Susan Lucci, Jonah Hill, Kaya Gerber, and so on.
Nice. Interesting. And another indie film we're looking forward to.
Exactly. What is your number 6?
My number 6 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
See, I would have put it on there,
but you weren't a fan.
But Mission Impossible,
Dead
the
Reckoning.
one before
Dead Reckoning.
sucked.
You didn't like it?
No, but like from Mission, I don't know my name, but like this is what 7.
This is 8.
Yeah, but so 7 sucked, but 4, 5, and 6 were
Incredible.
great.
Yeah.
The one with Henry Cavill. Fallout. Fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah.
Really good. But the last one, the whole AI thing did not tickle my parts.
Tickle your fancies, yeah.
So that's why this one didn't make it for me. But tell me why it made it for you.
I mean, I think Mission Impossible for me is just a franchise that, it kind of had a resurgence with Brad Bird coming on to direct 4, Ghost Protocol, which is still my favorite of the franchise. And ever since, it's just been, redefining action cinema, or Tom Cruise.
I agree.
And 7 was a little disappointing, I would say. Like, I think still the stunts are great, and it still has the same ethos of doing the shit for real. But 8 is supposedly the last one. Apparently, Tom Cruise wants to continue making more. McHugh's basically done. But I'm also personally kind of excited for this because we somewhat know a couple of people somewhat attached to the project.
Oh, yeah.
And Isyan, who we shot in India with recently, she's in it.
Oh, wow.
She's
Very
in
cool.
it. So that's quite cool. And I'm just...
You had somebody as a guest on a couple of days ago. It's like a
Amy.
You're going to have her on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely. Amy's a huge Mission Impossible fan.
That's such a random franchise to be like a massive fan of.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It is
really cool. But yeah, it's Tom Cruise doing Tom Cruise shit. I'm always going to be excited. And if this is indeed the last one, they have to go out with a bang. And the trailer looks good, though.
Yeah.
It does look good. So, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very cool.
Number 5 mine was Fantastic Four. Yours was Avatar. Number 4.
I'm shocked that my 4 is not on your list. It's in your honorable mentions, but it's not on your list. And I'm really surprised.
My number 4, I think, is your number 1.
Yeah.
I think my number 4 is your number 1. But don't tell me if it's your number 1. Just don't react. My number 4.
Like not react at all.
Don't react at all. Or try not to. My number 4 is the Untitled Paul Thomas Anderson film starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, Mickey, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is The Running Man, Running Man, Edgar Wright's next film.
Yeah, that is on my honorable mentions.
I'm surprised
that's on my honorable mentions
because you seem like an Edgar Wright guy.
I do like Edgar Wright. Yeah. I do.
So, and I have a love-hate relationship with him. The trilogy, World's End, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah. Not my type of humor.
Right.
Very English humor. I think it makes sense that it's not my type of humor.
Yeah.
But his entire filmography
Baby Driver.
as a whole, yeah.
Last Night in Soho.
Yeah. I think it's a very curious... Last Night in Soho was...
Yeah, it's all right. Interesting film.
We
know a lot of those locations
great
as well.
ideas, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this because it's also like... It's a futuristic thing, but it's set this year, right? So it's futuristic United States of 2025 when the world has become a dystopia.
Wow. Sounds like Civil War.
Sounds like just today.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Do we know any of the cast or anything?
I know Josh Brolin. So Josh Brolin, Glenn Powell, who actually said no to being in Jurassic World to be in this.
Wow.
And Michael Cera.
Nice.
William H. Macy. Carl Glusman.
Quite in Civil War. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, Edgar Wright. Yeah, I do love him as a filmmaker. I think he's great. I think he always does interesting work for sure. But yeah, it was on my honorable mentions. But nice. Your number 4, right? Yeah. My number 3.
What, your number 2 we're going to talk about later, or?
My number 3, I haven't done number...
Your number 4, sorry.
Oh, my number 4 was the PTA film.
We're going to talk about
I think it's your number 1, number 2. So
maybe we'll circle back.
Maybe we'll circle back.
Yeah.
My number 3 is also definitely on your list, and I want to say it is also your number 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Actually, is it? Or is your number 2? Whoa. It's in your top 3. I know this for a fact.
Okay.
My number 3 is F1.
Do you want me to say, or?
I think F1 for you is your number 2.
Do I reveal it now?
Yeah.
So F1
is your number 1.
Is my most anticipated
Oh my
film
God!
Next year.
Wow.
But there is a specific reason. It would be PTA, but it's F1. Both I anticipate a lot, but F1 comes out on my birthday. So that kind of gives it, because I know what I'm going to do with it, like what I'm going to do like around it.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Ken about this, like it's going to be like I'm 15 again, like all my friends, IMAX film is going to be a banger. So yeah, but if it was just like any date, I probably would have put PTA first and then this second, but because of I know it's going to be a great experience, it's F1,
Yeah. I don't know if we should talk about F1 now or we should save it to... Should we save it?
Should we? Well, but that's your four.
That's
four
my
is
3.
PTA and 3 is F1. Should we just reveal your 2-1 and my 3? Or how do you want to do it?
What was your number? Oh, so your number 2 is PTA?
Yeah.
Okay, so your number 3. I'm trying to remember what else is coming.
You definitely will not get this.
Is it in my honorable mentions?
Sorry?
Was it in my honorable... What?
Yeah, I know.
Is this Gaspar Noé releasing a new film?
No.
Fuck. Who's a filmmaker who's Mickey's like obsessed with? Gosh. Yeah, because my number 1 was on your honorable mentions, but
Superman.
We'll see. I don't know. What is your number 3?
So my number 3 is there is an Untitled feature made by Kendrick Lamar and Matt Stone and Trey Parker, who are the creators of South Park.
Okay.
And it's got like the Atlanta vibe, and it's about past and present coming to a head when a young black man who is interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his.
That's cool.
I think it's gonna be sick. It's like it's got like that Atlanta kind of black surrealism.
Black humor,
It's called Afro-surrealism, I think.
Yeah.
It's a specific subgenre. It's very cool. It's like Atlanta.
It's like Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah. I think it's got that vibe. So, and like, I think those creators, like Kendrick Lamar with the South Park guys, is going to be magic. So I'm very hyped.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. So my number 3 was F1.
Yeah.
You just briefly sort of gone into a little bit why they are so excited for that film. F1 for me, I mean, the reason why I'm so excited to see it this year, it's the same. I mean,
director is Top Gun for you, right?
Joseph Kosinski. Right? I made an entire video essay back in the day during COVID about Joseph Kosinski. Tron Legacy, Oblivion, Only the Brave, Top Gun Maverick, which basically saved cinemas. And now he's doing F1. So if he can bring a similar kind of formula to F1, and now it stars Brad Pitt instead of Tom Cruise this time. The trailer looks great. You know, they're out there racing real F1 cars.
It's sick, man.
You put those cameras in the fucking driver's seat.
It is insane.
It looks insane. Any kind of sort of racing film, whether it be Rush or Ford v Ferrari, I'm there for that adrenaline boost.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be epic. I think, if it's anything like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. I think it's going to be better than Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, but you do... Oh, fuck you.
Top Gun is a good film, but it's not like...
Hey!
It's not, but it's a good film. But me and Dylan once got into like a legitimate argument at dinner. Like a genuine argument at dinner about whether or not Top Gun was the best film of
I think Top Gun Maverick, someone asked me this the other day, in the last 10 years...
You're out of your mind.
If I could take one film... as just a personal film out of the last 10 or so years, what's the year? 2025. It might be Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick is just... We're not even talking about Top Gun.
I will say the reason I disagree, and we'll end it there because we could get, is that Top Gun Maverick does not have depth and weight.
It does.
It does for your genuine, like for your general, very like generic moviegoer. It doesn't have actual cinema artistry.
Yeah, but it's not. What do you mean cinema artistry?
We will get.
What do you mean?
Sorry, not cinema artistry. Maybe let's say like storytelling artistry.
I think the script for Top Gun Maverick is brilliant. I think it is so simple. We can't get into it.
We can't get into it.
No. Yeah, let's not get into it.
But I like it. It's a good film. It's like a 7 out of 10.
It's not. It's a 10 out of 10. But we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
F1. Yeah. If they can make F1 as fun and as epic as Top Gun Maverick, great, fantastic. Yeah. And also F1. You're a Formula One fan. My family's huge for Formula One. It's been around in my life, my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
An absolute banger. You know, you're going to be watching it on my birthday in IMAX, and then we're going to go.
Which IMAX? BFI.
Either one, and then we're gonna go to the F1
arcade. Nice.
and play some.
It's like a beat you again. Yeah, let's go.
It's gonna be sick. I actually can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Your number 2 though is PTA
Untitled. We don't know anything about it, right?
We just know it's starring DiCaprio.
Know it's PTA DiCaprio. I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson, in my opinion, is like top 3 filmmakers of all time.
Maybe.
Yeah. I would probably say the most versatile filmmaker of all time, maybe up there with Scorsese.
I think Spielberg's the most versatile. Spielberg has literally done every genre imaginable. Paul Thomas Anderson, I wouldn't say is the most versatile. Paul Thomas Anderson, there's always a. I love him.
I think there is
but he hasn't done an action film. He hasn't done a musical. He hasn't done a horror film. He hasn't done. I
think the difference is that with Spielberg, there is a level of this kind of enchanting energy.
Oh yeah,
everything. So tonally, I'm not saying they're similar because they're not, but you can see a signature.
Yeah, but with Paul Thomas Anderson films, he also does definitely have a signature style with him.
I don't know.
The characters are always so intrinsic to the plot.
True.
They're all Paul Thomas Anderson films are character driven, never premise or concept driven. They're all character first, and that you could argue is, in a way, a signature trait of it.
Yeah, I agree completely. To me, neither is worse or better, but to me the difference is that tonally, at least, I would say that there isn't really anything that links a lot of his filmography. Whereas with Spielberg, I would argue that there is.
Really?
To an extent, a very I think you need a lot of like.
But okay, how about this? Yeah. 1993, he did Jurassic Park. He also did Schindler's List.
I know. Yeah, that's a ridiculous one. Yeah.
Anyways, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that that he's there in terms of versatility. The most versatile is Scorsese, of course. And
I still think Spielberg is, but
Scorsese for sure.
I mean
for sure Scorsese. Like when you look at like Silence and then Wolf of Wall Street, there is nothing there. And I would agree that very similar to Jurassic Park, to Schindler's List, there is nothing there as well. But I think on a grander scale, Scorsese's filmography has a lot like more of that different tissue than Spielberg.
I really disagree, but we could,
especially later on in his career, Spielberg does tend to do a lot of this like enchanting stuff a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
But his last 2 films have been The Post and West Side Story.
Yeah, those fit to me in the, maybe not The Post so much, but they do fit in that like enchanting vibe.
Really?
Yeah. West Side Story does.
West Side Story, yeah, sure. It's like signature Spielberg, childlike imagination and wonder brought to life. But then you also have...
And The Fabelmans.
And The Fabelmans is almost like a biopic of himself. But then he's also done like Saving Private Ryan, which is basically a war horror. Like there's no enchantment there whatsoever.
I agree.
Like, it's just,
I agree.
There's
no. I do agree. I guess I'm looking at it more in terms of like a grand career, but it's just for the sake of discussion. Yeah, I do agree 100%.
What were we talking about?
PTA.
Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, he's great, and he rarely releases films. So when he does. Yeah. It's a big event. It's a big event. And it's the first film of his that's coming out in IMAX as well. Yeah. And DiCaprio has never worked with Paul Thomas Anderson. I think the only other kind of big director that DiCaprio has not worked with is David Fincher, I want to say.
Yeah.
So excited to see that collaboration.
I can't wait.
Definitely.
It's going to be fun.
My number 2 was Mickey 17.
Oh wow!
My number 2 is the Mickey 17.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm so ready for it now because it's been delayed so many times. Robert Pattinson.
I think that's maybe why I'm not as excited for it.
Yeah,
because it has been delayed so many times.
Yeah.
And that excitement passes with each delay, but also like the fact that it keeps getting delayed doesn't really make me think that it's something this studio, which is releasing it, which I don't know what it is, off the top of my head, it doesn't really give me that much confidence in the film.
Really?
Yeah, because if it was amazing,
as in like because
they would want to fucking release it, you know?
I don't know why it has been delayed so many times, though, I want to say. Its
original like release date was like now or March or something.
Last year.
And that's not a really good window because if it was great, they would want to release it in like November for awards. So I have a feeling it's going to be like a fun film and a really enjoyable film, but I don't think it's going to be anything
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Bong Joon-ho for me is the main kind of draw, and Robert Pattinson as well. the trailer looks really interesting and fun and quirky and silly and whimsical. And is Bong Joon-ho coming off the back of Parasite, his best film, one of the best films, I would say, in the last at least 10 years, I would say. So there's a lot of hype for me just going into this just because it's Bong Joon-ho. But the cast is great. It's another kind of an American film that he's doing. The premise is interesting. It's him almost wrestling with sci-fi as well a little bit. He did that a little bit with Snowpiercer. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see. I just want to see it at this point. I'm just so ready for it. But my number one
is Superman.
And I will say, my number one here, Superman, there's a part of me that just feels like it shouldn't actually be this high. And in all honesty, I am not so excited to see the film. What I am excited for is the fact that the most iconic superhero is being brought to life, like redone again. But it's also the start of the DC universe. It's James Gunn's. The DC have now got a clean slate. They need to get this right. And there's been a lot of chatter in the comic book world community of like, the MCU are like almost hanging on by a thread now. And if it's ever time for DC to kind of strike back, it's now. And I saw the first trailer.
I think it's too early.
You think it's too early?
Yeah. I think there is way too much like stigma against the DCU right now still.
Oh, I think there's a lot of... it's interesting because Superman's supposed to bring hope.
There is hope 100% because of James Gunn. Because people love James Gunn, so now he's like a fresh new take on it. But I personally think it's still too early. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I mean, I'm basing it off my perception, but I have no craving right now for yet another franchise of superheroes.
Yeah.
Right now. I do love superhero films.
Oh yeah, I still feel a little tragic about how the kind of DC EU kind of ended. How like there was so many unfinished plots and unfinished characters, and Henry Cavill got brought back. I'm a huge fan of Man of Steel. I love that film, but for me, I just feel like this is for almost the greater good. Like they just starting fresh.
Yeah.
It's now time to really do these characters justice, no pun intended. And I think, I saw the trailer. The trailer looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It looks like a kind of mesh between Snyder's kind of... It just looks like James Gunn is the person to find that modern sensibility of the character whilst also respecting the huge tradition that comes with that character.
Are they fully like restating the whole thing?
The entire thing.
So nothing is
nothing at all from the DCEU is transferring over.
Nothing?
No. The only connective tissue, it's not even connective tissue, is apparently they're getting Jason Momoa to play Lobo.
I saw that, yeah. But
that's just new casting. But I'm just I'm ready for that. The Superman film I'm excited for, but what I'm most ready for is this changing of the guard almost, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Marvel got a couple of films coming out this year as well, so they've got their own ammo.
I think they just like superhero films need a change of tone somehow. They just need to do something fresh as a whole, not on a project-to-project basis. Because now, like, you hear superhero and it's a lot of the similar tone. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking loved Deadpool and Wolverine, but it does carry that tone. And that's the case with a lot of superhero films that have come out in the last like 18 months.
Yeah, I enjoyed Deadpool. Just looking back on it, I'm not actually that big of a fan anymore.
I think that's why probably because to me it didn't do anything. Like I think
everything is expected.
The superhero film that has stuck with me the most in recent times has been Guardians 3, and it's because Guardians 3 like took itself seriously, but in a good way. Like it took itself like a film with a purpose and with something important that it had to do. It wasn't just content, right? And I think that's what Gunn will ultimately bring, and that's probably great. But I think once I watch Superman, hopefully I'll get excited again. Right now I'm just like, we'll see.
Sure. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of interesting films this year. A lot of huge blockbuster studios films this year. So it's an interesting climate going into 2025. But as with any year,
and I know already next year we're gonna sit down and Dylan's top most anticipated release of 2026.
Oh yeah, you know what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be The Odyssey.
The Odyssey or Dune Messiah.
Oh, what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be?
I don't know.
What is it gonna be?
I don't know.
What's your
2026
favorite film of 2024 is Dune 2?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you still have? It's really good. Is there anything you still gotta see to make your top 10?
The Brutalist, Baby Girl, they probably won't be my number ones. I've still got to see another films that like Sing Sing. I haven't seen. I haven't seen what else. Kneecap, which is this Irish film.
I've seen it.
I need to watch. I need to catch up on a lot of the awardsy films coming out before the Oscars come around. But yeah. Exciting.
It's been
stuff.
a good year, I think.
It's been an interesting year. Yeah.
It's been a good year.
Yeah.
But I think I only have 2 or 3 films that have blown me away.
Oh,
I have
definitely.
to see still
Anora, The Substance, and Dune Part 2.
Anora, Substance, and we'll see if Nosferatu makes that blew me away.
Yeah.
But it's
I think Nosferatu comes in as like a nice 3 or 4 for me. I don't know. Yeah.
To be completely honest, I don't like the only film that I was like, holy fuck, like my mind was Substance. Anora I loved, but The Substance I was like, I like my jaw dropped.
I know.
That's my jam. Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, those were our picks for our most anticipated films of 2025. Do let us know.
That's gonna be us on my birthday.
The Doppler effect. Gosh, what are we doing?
Is there any Transformers coming out next year? Because that's gonna be Flynn's.
Is it coming out? I don't think there's one coming out this year, but
Flynn is gonna make one like a fanfic. Just him riding Bumblebee.
Yeah, well, guys, those were our most anticipated films of 2025. Do let us know what you are most excited to see this year. We're excited to know. And do come and chat with us. Send us a DM, email if you want to, even in the comments. I've never sent an email. But I do actually get a few emails. I
love emails. Like, I prefer emails than DMs because, and I'll tell you why. I have this thing
We're
where
going in a separate conversation
if I see a message, whether it's WhatsApp or Instagram, if I'm seen, I need to respond to it because otherwise I'll forget, right? But with emails, the cool thing is I don't have that. I don't know why, but I don't open an email, so if it's unopened, I leave it for myself as a reminder. But I hate having messages unopened, and I need to open them immediately.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What do you guys prefer?
Well, I lost my mind. 2025.
Well, guys, on that note, we are going to wrap this episode up. Do let us know once again what you are most excited to see in 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you very soon in the next episode of the Popcorn Podcast. Cheers.
Peace.